I'm from Texas originally, and when I was 14, my dad heard about an 8 Days of Hope trip, Nashville, on AFR. So he came home, we were planning a trip to California, and he changed our plans to go to Nashville instead.
We were wanting to go on a vacation to California, and I was at work, and on the radio, I listened to AFR. On the radio, I heard a bit for people going to Nashville, Tennessee, because there had been a flood, a dam busted, and they were going to go there and rebuild. And so I went home. I go home at lunch every day. So I went home, and the family was all at the table. We were about to eat lunch. And I said, guys, I heard something on the radio. Let's not go on a California vacation. Let's go rebuild homes in Nashville. And everybody agreed. We took off for Nashville, and we just loved it. It was totally addictive.
We got involved with 8 Days of Hope right after 2020. And we really started asking ourselves if everything that we had worked for was really worth continuing on in that career, and what it would look like to serve God full time. We went on our first 8 Days of Hope in LaPlace, Louisiana, and we left back from that trip. I walked in the door and Megan said, I think this is what we're supposed to do. And I said, I'm glad, because I have the same feeling. I think we're supposed to serve full time with 8 Days of Hope doing disaster relief.
My father-in-law and mother-in-law were going to go with their church, and it was pretty exciting. We sounded like we wanted to get on board and come along as well. We got to serve some families, roof some houses, and change some lives in LaPlace, and it was such an impact on us. We thought it was a great family experience for us as well, and we really wanted to share that with our kids. So we came back to Lake Charles in December, and here we are again in Florida, Fort Myers, Florida.
This is our first 8 Days of Hope adventure. We had a roof leak that 4 different roof companies couldn't find, and we go to a little family camp get together once a year, and we met the Powers family, and we didn't know them, really didn't get a chance to talk to them, but some friends of ours that go to the same event said, hey, let me call the Powers and tell them about your roof. And I'm like, oh, they don't even know who we are. He made a phone call, they said yes, showed up at our house with 50 kids and parents from hours and hours away from our house. They camped out and roofed our house for free.
After that, Mr. Squillcraft's said he had never heard of anything like this, and so we'd still see him at the shindigs, and then finally we started inviting him, like, hey, you know how we all came out, we worked together at your place, and it was really enjoyable. Well, you can do this too. You can come work on someone else's house. What you've freely been given, give back.
They kept saying 8 Days of Hope. Baseball caps that said 8 Days of Hope. Sweaters that said 8 Days of Hope. They were all about this 8 Days of Hope. And we were like...
They really inspired us to want to go out and serve.
It's great to come to 8 Days of Hope with my kids and show them what it's like and show them how I work.
My kids have learned roofing skills. Some of my kids are learning how to run nail guns and lay shingles and lay tarp paper and doing all sorts of skills that I can't teach them to do. And I'm learning some of that also.
I always feel like that's the thing with God's people, is when they get together, they know they're with each other and they get along, and you feel safe. You feel like you can trust them. You feel like you're with your family or friends. Even though you've not met these people, it was the kind of fellowship that I think a group of believers should have. When I came here, they had it. It was real,
Definitely the people. Like a family reunion.
It's literally like a family reunion with strangers, but they're other brothers, and you right away know it.
On our very first job, on our very first site that we ever did with 8 Days of Hope, there was a man by the name of Brian Mosman, and he was the most gentle person I've ever met in my life. And he inspired me to be a more gentle and hard-working father for my family. And it was a really awesome experience to get to work with him.
Back in LaPlace, I think it was, I was helping a guy with a saw, and he was letting me use the saw. He was giving me all the instruction, and he just was so patient with me. I feel like they are always very patient. The project leaders seem to really kind of take you under their wing, and they're ready to help out. And all the other volunteers are always very sweet and considerate of our children, trying to get them little jobs that they can do, which we really appreciate, them helping the kids get involved.
It's amazing how you can bring families together with the tiniest kids, the smallest kids. You don't have to be 18. You can be 1, and they get to see so much.
The people here are nice and will help you. You don't have to manage it all alone. You can bring the kids and you'll get help. You'll be taken care of. People will teach your kids. Even if you're not skilled, someone skilled will come and teach your kids and get them to help and show them.
They're happier on this trip than they are in the middle of the day sitting in an air-conditioned room. They're actually thriving. So it's been a surprise to us that this would go as smoothly as it did.
We wake up, we get a head in for breakfast. Usually Steve Tiber gets up on stage and gives some announcements. He's got a lot of fun antics to say at the same time. Really encourages the crews to go out and do a good job. It's a really cool start to the day. Play some music, have some worship time.
And then we just hook up with our job leader. We go out to a site and the day begins with usually putting our hands around the homeowner and praying for them and praying for the job that we're going to do that day.
The evenings are great. It's time to cool off, wind down, and fellowship and tell everybody what you did for the day. And dinner time's great because you get to invite the homeowner. And Steve Tabor goes around and visits with each homeowner and gets them to stand up, and they give a little testimony if they want to. And that's a real emotional time because the families normally break down, and because they're so appreciative, they're so thankful.
We get to fellowship with like hundreds of people on these trips, and it's awesome. And our kids make friends from all over the place. They look forward to going to the different trips and getting to see their different friends and making new friends of all ages.
It just feels like an extra family. There's so many people here that we love, and they just love on our family, and it's precious.
We'll definitely come back, and it's been nice to know that you've done something productive, and even though that we're not contractors, so we're not within our wheelhouse, but we've learned a lot of skills and done some things that when we're done, there's a roof on a house that I could have never done by myself.
Try it and you'll see. That's all I can say. If you take a taste of it and you'll go back. As far as the family, bring the family. The idea that I've got to go and leave the kids and wife behind, no. Take the family, take the kids, because one day your kids will be working directly for God, not under you anymore. They'll move out. They'll need to follow God themselves. They need to learn that that's what they do. This is what we do. We pass this on to our children.
It's not hard work. It's not a chore. It's a vacation.
Yeah, it's not a chore.